Well, hello and good afternoon on a very rainy, dreary, but quiet day. Sorry I didn't do this a little bit sooner. Over the weekend I had things to do and stuff, but I completed the video on the J35, the Shenyang J35 Chinese stealth fighter plane. I'm not going to make any comments or jokes or off kilter stuff. Maybe I'll do that on another video channel where I can put comedy. Here is the book. This is probably one of the best instruction booklets that I ever used. It's Chinese, but it's very go slow, very easy to put together. What makes it easy is the quality of the bricks. Here's the actual fighter plane. This is a Shenyang J35. I'm gonna hold it because parts of it will like kind of pop and stuff, and I don't want it to happen. This is a good look at the whole thing. So I'm gonna try to move my fingers around so you can get a better look, but that's it. Now I'm going to retract the landing gear. I'm going to do this while I have it in my hand because I don't want to knock other things out. There are some idiosyncrasies about this model, but not bad enough where you can't go and not enjoy building the thing. Their landing gear, and I'm retracting it, much more responsive than Kobe's. They do have some decals, which, it is what it is, but I'm going to show you everything that I can show you on this plane. And I'm going to go in a little bit of a history. They don't give you much in the way of information, and there's not much information. Everything that I've found on it, searches here, searches there. But let me just retract it so it has retracted landing gear, and which I just did successfully. And here's the actual plane. Landing gear closed. I had one issue. These panels here were falling off. And if you look at the bottom, see the little black things? That's where the guns are. I found that out through a bunch of third party sources. I don't know what kind of a cannon, but oops, and I just knocked part of a missile down. This is what's wonky about this thing. Excuse me for 1 second. I got to pick it up because it flew right off. And I don't know where it flew. Too. Landed on the floor or something. Because it's kind of wonky with that. Well, not to mess the video up, I can't find the part, but I will later. But that'd be one of these larger white tip missiles, which I'm assuming is an anti-ship missile. The outer board missiles are a Chinese version of the Israeli Python, which is a version of the Matra Magic, which the Chinese use. The ones right next to it, which would be these, equivalent to the U.S. Sparrow missile. The canopy does open up. Let me get to that in a second here. And you cannot fit the figure with his legs in fully. You gotta go halfling mode like you do with Kobe. I'm gonna put the plane down for a second and show you what they give you. Here's the ground crew figure, which is basically a Chinese infantryman. These little brick figures are very detailed. The articulation is incredibly good. The actual look to them is pretty good. The weapons, helmets. And one thing I like about this, you get a full figure, high detail figure where you could take the legs off, like the Tom Cruise figure in the Top Gun F-18, and then it goes in really nice. The cockpit is very detailed. I can't show you because of the way it doesn't open up. It kind of opens up like the F-35 that Kobe has. But what this thing does, let me see if I can do this. You can secure the cabin closed, which I didn't realize until I was communicating with somebody that built one of these, and there it is, it's sealed. Excellent plane. I mean, I've been playing with it and stuff. I don't like the decals, but you know, it is what it is. But I'm living around it, and I'm able to utilize what the plane has. And there's the engines. And they give you one thing that I didn't put on. I'll put one on just to show you. I think they're kind of ridiculously stupid looking. My son was teasing me about it. Oh, leave them on. I said, yeah, I mean, leave them on. It looks idiotic, but you get some idiosyncrasies with these Chinese design stuff. Let me see if I can fit this thing on so you see what it looks like. There you go. It gives it an afterburner effect. I got two. I'm going to put them both on since we're doing this for other people to see. Oh, come on. Nothing never wants to cooperate when you want it to do. There you go. And just move this around. There you go. It locks in. Both afterburners hooked on. I don't actually like these. I'm going to take them off. They are available with the kit. There's also a handgun and an SMG. They go along with the ground crew. They're using this plane, I guess the Chinese are using it as a naval carrier plane, and this one does have folding wings. They will fold them for you there, see? Very nice. They stay in place. When you do the build, you'll see what I mean about how they set things up. Control surfaces in the back like the Kobe's. Very nice, very smooth. Use a lot of Lego kind of features on this with these little pistons that things hook into so they don't fall off. These move around in the back. Doing some damage here, so bear with me for a second. I'm going to open up the bomb bay in the middle. This is a tricky thing because this thing has not been holding up nice, and other little videos and stuff I saw. There you go. The interior has two, I guess you'd call them bombs or missiles. I don't know that much about Chinese missiles, and a lot of people don't because there's not a lot of information out there, and you got to kind of like run around and shop for the information. Let me put the wing down. What I know about this plane is a single-seat, twin-engine, all-weather, stealth, multi-role combat aircraft. It's a lot to say. Kind of like the F-35. It's for air superiority and surface strike. The engine is a Guizhou WS819 turbojet, 25,000 to 26,000 pounds of thrust. There's 6 missiles on here. Variations of PL-10, PL-15, PL-21. That probably corresponds to these missiles, I'm not sure. You can put 12 small diameter bombs, and you can put 4 1,000-pound bombs, and 4 supersonic land attack missiles, or 4 anti-radiation, anti-ship missiles. And I'm assuming that's what these are with the white tips. These are anti-ship missiles. They're a little bit smaller than the old Exocet, which is something that should be expected with a change in technology and going to miniaturization and smaller scale. But overall, I mean, just for messing around and stuff, this is not a bad plane. There's not a lot on here that'll pop off. You can adjust the rudders any way you want. I kind of slant them just a little bit, kind of equal distance. It's the same scale as the Kobe's, and I'm playing around with and just looking. I'm trying to learn more about these because I don't know much about Chinese aircraft. I know they copy us. I would say this plane's more of an attempt to copy the F-22 rather than the F-35. And well, that's nice. I put that in upside down. Okay. And the thing with this is it was a land-based, and then it became a sea-based. Now, for those of you that know about Chinese aircraft, Shenyang State Company, they produced a version of the MiG-19 that was very popular, I guess, in the 1950s, and given the license to produce them in China, and most of Chinese aircraft are based upon that. This now, were they stealing U.S. technology? No, because the Russians have been using trapezoidal rings. They did try that with the Russians' engine technology because the Chinese engines are not as good as U.S. or Russian engines. And I know there was an incident a while back where one of the Russian companies wanted the Chinese to pay for the ability to go ahead and produce the Russian engine in China, production license essentially. I don't know how that was solved, but here it is, the J35. What else do I have to say about this plane? I like the instructions. It doesn't have a box. If you were to buy one in a store, they have a very fancy amount of packaging, and I just touched the engine and it popped off. Bear with me for a minute. This happens with the Kobe planes too. It's just the way that they're in here. It's just kind of weird. And that's when things are falling off. You touch one thing, and the other thing pops out, and this doesn't do well, and then that looks ugly, and it's just you're all upset with what you did. But there we go. Got them back on. They're both on. Okay. There we go. What you get is you get a big bag, and in the big bag, the two smaller bags. There's a bag one, a bag two. And inside the bag are sub bags, numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, for building that assembly. There's two major assemblies. I'll show you in the booklet. In case you want to buy one. You can get these on Temu for $30 or less, which is cheap. Let's see. Give me a second here. Don't want to bore anybody. Here we go. Bag two. This is how you end bag one. This is how you end bag two. So you follow along, and it's actually very, very interesting the way they have this book set up. It's very basic, but it's not in English, but it's very easy to assemble. And like I said, when you're done, wow. Even the decals weren't that bad. I mean, I'm totally impressed. And I built other Chinese models. Sembo, I think, is the best. They're on the same par with Lego. And I think they might also be a Lego subcontractor in China making parts, and with Kobe. The only problem is they only make Chinese planes. So, I mean, it is what it is. But they do produce nice stuff. They have a helicopter I'm looking at, and there's some kind of a tank. So what I'm going to try to do is try to build more of these to introduce my followers with Chinese equipment. This plane is serving on the Fujian, their new carrier that they just launched. I think this is a primary fighter plane on it. As far as performance, somewhere I looked, it's a max speed of Mach 1.8. It's kind of like the F-35. Top speed is 1,367 miles an hour. Just about Mach 2. But that's flying like that. You have nothing on there, so you have none of this stuff dangling. The F-35 can fly with everything inside of it without missiles hanging on, so it might be a little bit quicker than this. And this is a bigger plane. That's a twin-engine plane, too. It's got two engines. Let me see if I can move it here without disaster. Oh, there you go. You touch it, and something comes off. And this is the problem with these jet models. It just doesn't matter. There, went on simply there. Okay. So this is what you got. Basically, the Chinese are playing with this now as the Fujian goes through test trials and stuff, and these guys are on there and they're using them. This thing also has a working arrestor hook. The little orange thing actually functions, and everything that's supposed to function on this plane does function, and it functions very well. Recommendations: if you go shop Temu, look for J35, put it in there, and you'll find this. And you just got to look through a little bit more descriptive stuff, and you want the Sembo model, which is this one here, with this instruction booklet. And you got yourself a unique aircraft. I'm going to pull the landing gear down so you see it with the landing gear down. Hopefully I don't have any disasters. And we'll finish this up, because I have some more stuff I want to do video-wise, but this is where you got to be careful with this one. This one's kind of a bit funky. So if you don't do everything, oh God, it's coming off again. I had this happen last night. I was playing with this plane, getting it ready for this video. Hold on. I don't know why this is doing this. You gotta kind of play with stuff on here. But the thing like Kobe, if something doesn't fit, take it off, make it fit. It'll work. Not this time. I'm gonna have to readjust this. This thing fell off. And I'll show you at the end why it fell off, because I am going to readjust it and then finish up this video so you can like absorb the knowledge and then maybe go out, buy one, and build one. Now the thing is, when you go to put the landing gear down in a retracted form, you got to close these doors up, which they probably would in the plane's flying. You'd see it go and everything hydraulic would open and close. But here it is with the landing gear down. And it does work, works very well, and it's a great plane. Any downfall or issues? No, none. Very pleased with it. It was very inexpensive, and it was a Temu purchase. So that's about it for this. This was the J35, Shenyang J35 stealth air superiority fighter. How stealthy is it? I don't know. Is their technology the same as ours? No, but it's not a bad plane. And for what they're doing, it's a good first start. So I guess when you look at it that way, it is what it is. Well, thank you for watching. I'm going to do some other videos coming up. The holidays are coming up, and people want to go buy stuff. Maybe I'll show you my pen collection. Because I do buy pens, older pens, and I fix them up and make them usable to work with. And kind of a neat hobby. But for now, I'm going to finish with this. I'm going to wish everybody a good day, and I will have something else. I don't know what. The next day or so. One of the things of me doing these videos is make sure that I don't look unkept, bearded and stuff. You don't want to look like that. You want to look as best as you can. Bad enough you gotta look at me with these silly glasses on, but hey, I don't know where I put the other glasses, and I have a pair out in my car, but that's about it. And I will see you all in a couple days. You make some comments. Let me know if you like us. Need any more information, I'll try to get it. But for now, that's it. Enjoy. Be safe. And see you soon in a couple of days. Thank you.